friends, 2 time zones, and a shared love of stories.
I'm Freya.
And I'm Jamie.
Bridging time zones 1 chapter at a time.
Welcome to Once Upon a Time Zone. Hello everyone, welcome back to Once Upon a Time Zone. We are on episode 18 and we are revisiting series today, which is always something very, very fun to talk about because if you've been following along with us on this whole podcast adventure, our pilot episode was actually talking about series. Like we talked about viral series and what we thought about them. Since then, we've done one more series episode, I think, where we talked about all the series we're in the middle of. And today, we're putting a little twist on the series theme, and we're going to be talking about series that we've DNF'd versus series that we want to start. So we're going to start with, I guess, the negatives with the DNFs, but then we're going to end the episode on a positive note. Just, going through some potential series that look fun that we want to read. So today's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love a series episode, to be honest. They're some of my favorite to film. So it's been a while.
Agreed. We love series, especially as fantasy readers. Like, series are just so much fun. But first, of course, we have to go over current reads. So, Freya, what are you currently reading?
So I haven't picked up another book yet because just last night I finished Direbound, which was on my TBR for a while, to be honest. And I was so nervous to go into this just because of all the hype surrounding it. And guys, I'm going to say it straight away. I was just telling Jamie, I don't think it's fair that I went into this book straight after The Will of the Many, because The Will of the Many literally just altered my brain chemistry and I don't know what to think anymore. So then going on to this book, like, it was a fun romantic read. It wasn't meant to be some incredible high fantasy if you don't know what it's about. We're set in a world with dire wolves, and our main protagonist, Meryn, her sister goes missing, and she decides that the best way to find her, or she thinks the most likely place to find her, is on the front lines of the war zone. So she tries to become a soldier, but to become a soldier, she has to go through the bonding trials and see if she has a bond with a dire wolf. I will say, loved the dire wolf aspect.
Yes.
That was so cool. I mean, I love any mythical creature, to be honest. Like, they're so fun. But yeah, it was good. I don't think it was fair that I went into it after Will of the Many. I should have got onto like a different genre and given my mind a break or something, because I was just comparing the world building and the magic system to Will of the Many, and that's not fair for any book, to be honest. So that was my bad. It was still fun. It was like a fun romantasy, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what to pick up next, so we'll see.
Yeah, maybe something like Real World. I feel like after something like The Will of the Many, you just need to like ground yourself again before diving into something else, like to reset your mind.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I don't know what book could live up to that right now until I read Words of Radiance. I feel like that would be a good follow-up fantasy for But we'll see what I'm reading next episode, guys. Anyway, what are you currently reading?
I actually have been keeping this from you because I wanted to see your reaction, but I picked up The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson.
Yay! Wait, how far in are we?
I started like last night, so I am I'm like 60 pages in. So I've gone through kind of like because there's a bit of a prologue moment at the beginning. So I like passed through that, and now we're starting to get into like the current day story. It's so good so far. Like, I'm only 60 pages in, but I'm already loving it. Like, the world is so cool. A lot of the beginning's world building, because like you're settling into this world, you have to learn about, like, if you don't know what the world is like, there are 8 guardians that are all animal themed, I guess. So we have like the ravens and the foxes and the bears and the hounds and tigers. Like, there's so many of them. There's 8. And each of them have, I guess, like they come with their own kind of magic affinities and also kind of determine your career path at the same time. Like, I'm not that far into it, but this is what I've learned so far. But the world's so cool. And then also I think the writing is really fun too. Like, especially, I don't know if this goes on throughout, like, for the rest of the book, but at least in the prologue, like, you're a raven. Like, the reader is a raven, right? Because it's like, you'll be in a moment, and then when you move somewhere else to, like, watch something else happen, it'll literally be like, yeah, like let's fly over here now and like land on the handrail and watch this moment. And I'm like, hold on, this is so much fun. I feel like I'm literally a raven flying around watching this high fantasy story unfold. And I love it. I just love like the feel of it.
It's so unique. It has, the writing in itself is like, a very unique approach to high fantasy. And I loved it. It's almost a very dynamic kind of style of writing. Like you really don't know where you're going to go next.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. It's so immersive. Like it really puts you in the world. And I can't wait to see more of the story. Obviously, I'm still at the beginning, but from what I know, like from what you've told me and from what I've heard, like we need to find a new emperor and there's like competition for it, but then all this stuff happens. Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm so excited. That's so you'll have to keep me updated. I hope you continue loving it because I just think it's a really underrated fantasy book, to be honest. It's very unique and refreshing, and that, as you know, can be hard to find.
Yeah, I don't know, I just love it. I love the setting, I love the writing, I love the characters. It's great.
Yes, guys, you've just given me like 2 5-star reads in a row, from Addie to Will of the Many. So I'm like, I hope I can give like one at least good read.
And now it's
like we're hoping for over 4 stars.
No, it's feeling very good so far. Very, very promising.
Okay, great. All right, shall we? Speaking of fantasy series, jump into the series that I mean, I think a lot of mine are actually fantasy series. Speaking of fantasy series, because I really don't read that many romance series, and if I do, they're usually pretty quickly if I enjoy them because they're so easy and fast-paced to read.
Yes. Yeah, I think I only have one on my list that I've DNF'd. Yeah, we're gonna go through the series that we've DNF'd first. Do you want to start with your first one?
Yeah, sure. So the first series I have DNF'd. I feel like this one is so obvious, but it's a very popular series, so I thought I'd start out with it. That is the cat and mouse duet, Haunting Adeline, and I think it's Hunting Adeline is the other one, by H.D. Carlton. If you guys listen to like our older episodes, I think I've mentioned before that I went into this thinking it was a fantasy book, and it was absolutely 100% not a fantasy book. So don't go in thinking that. But to be fair, as I said before, the cover kind of looks like a fantasy book. These days, it's really hard to distinguish between a dark romance and like a dark romance fantasy. So it was a 50-50 chance. But yeah, this was absolutely terrifying for me. I had never really read that dark of a romance. I'd read some like mafia style romances before, but Haunting Adeline, I can't even remember too much about what the plot was because I feel like there wasn't too much of a plot. But our main protagonist, she inherits this house from her grandma, I believe it is, and the weird stuff starts to happen there, and she starts to realize that she might have a stalker. The stalker is like one of like he's a bad guy, but also he like is bringing down this really bad mafia-like industry at this. I don't know. I really didn't pay attention to like there wasn't that much of a plot. We are very much following our characters, and if you like your characters, you may love it. But also, I felt like the main protagonist was one of those protagonists in a horror movie that the door is like, don't go in here, go this way. And she goes in the door that you don't want her to go into. And I just couldn't deal. I was like,
they run up the stairs and you're like, why are you running up the stairs? Now you're stuck.
Yeah, literally. I was like, do you want to jump out a window? Like, oh my gosh. It wasn't for me. So that is the first series that I I have permanently ruled out of my continuation.
Fair enough. Yeah. And like, we've all learned this about you, but like you just don't like a stalker. That is
I really don't. Like your least favorite thing. See the appeal.
Yeah. So
I've yet to read a book. If I ever read a book that convinces me otherwise, that has got to be like an amazing book.
Okay. This is everyone's task now. If anyone knows a great stalker book that you think Freya would actually like, comment down below, and maybe you should do a week of reading stalker books.
Well, we're not going to be continuing this one. We're going to be staying away from this one.
Not this one, but maybe we can find a stalker book that will help you overcome your fear of stalkers. I don't know if you would want to overcome your fear of stalkers, though. I feel like that is a good fear to have.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Like, definitely keeps me aware.
It's like a healthy fear to have. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
It'll benefit you. Okay.
Anyway.
Well,
yeah. What's yours? What's your first series?
Yeah, a series that I DNF'd. This one, I'm sorry if this might make some people mad, but I decided to DNF the Legendborn series by Tracy Deonn. So this is Legendborn. I think it was meant to be a trilogy, but now it's going to be 4 books or maybe more. Like, it's just extended. Have you read this one? I can't remember if you have.
I haven't, no.
So, like, the idea of it's really fun. It's like an Arthurian legend retelling, kind of. It's Knights of the Round Table, all of that stuff, but retold in an urban YA fantasy. So we're at a college campus setting, and yeah, there's kind of like secret society stuff going on. Like, it sounds like it'd be really fun, and I think overall the first book had a decent plot. Like, by the end of it, I was like, okay, that was a fun, high-paced, high-action, fun plot. But there was something about the characters calling each other, like, I don't know, Merlin and my liege and stuff, but they were all these either teenagers or young adults in like a pre-college or a college age, calling each other these things while holding cell phones and like texting each other. Like, I just could not get over that hump. And that is, I feel like that's just such a personal preference thing. Like, I don't think there was anything wrong in the writing in general. It was just the theme, like the overall vibe of the setting. I was like, I don't know if I can get into this. Like, there was just something blocking me about it.
Yeah, I can see that. That would really, it is really confusing when there's kind of old feeling fantasy books set in a modern age. That is really hard to get your head around.
Yeah, and there was just all of this, olden day, like, it's all like Knights of the Round Table stuff, so it's like, you get the vibe, but it was all these like teenager, a little bit older than teenager characters, like taking it so seriously, and I don't know, there was something off-putting about it, but I will say, like, the story was good. I can see why, a lot of people love this series. It just wasn't for me. I also think the protagonist and also her friend character was very, very annoying. Oh, you know what? There were more reasons I didn't like this. There is a love triangle situation in the first book, and I think it does drag on throughout the whole series, but I didn't like either of the love interests. And I feel like with a love triangle, you want to at least like one, and like hopefully you like both of them, because then it makes it more painful and you get more invested into it. But I didn't like either of them. It was like, none of these love interests sound good. So yeah, the love triangle also didn't do it for me.
Because you're not really a fan of love triangles, are you?
I'm fine with them. Like, I don't hate them. Like, I don't see a love triangle and I'm immediately like, oh no, because I have experienced love triangles done well, and I do kind of love that thrill of like, ooh, who's it gonna be? But I actually love love triangles when I do like both of the love interests. Yeah. And I can see, like, it's an even balanced competition. It's not like one so obviously over the other is going to win. But yeah, in this one, I didn't like either. It was like not even one of them. So it was just not it for me.
Yeah, that makes it difficult. I can see that being difficult.
But the idea was fun, and the magic system was interesting. Yeah. And I think there were some good themes. Like we addressed racism and, a lot of stuff like that. So it was good, not for me.
Sucks. Yeah, sucks that it didn't quite do it for you.
Yeah, I had hope.
All right, my next one, again, a very popular series, is the Twisted series by Anna Huang. I just did not see the appeal of this series. I don't mind a romance series, as we said before. Like, I have read some romance series this year, and when I get into them, I usually they become my little brain breaks, and I just go through that series super quick, and I find them really fun. But the Twisted series, I read the first 2 books because everyone said the first one was just like, it was good, but it was not amazing. And then the second book was really, really good. I actually preferred the first one over the second one, and I didn't really like the first one either, though. So I just don't see a point in continuing the series. And we're following, if you didn't know, the Twisted series is about like four girls, and we followed their different love stories basically. It's just an interconnected romance series. And it just wasn't good enough for me to continue it. I wasn't hooked on it. I didn't love the characters, especially the ones that we're following in the next books. I didn't love them enough to want to read about their love story. And in Twisted Games, one thing I am not very good at anyway is an age gap. This was a very, very big age gap. And it was between a princess and her security guard. And I didn't get the vibe. I know that a lot of people love it, but I just got a really icky vibe between them. And it wasn't like this off limits, there's so much tension and chemistry. It was I don't want to go there. So, and I will say, since then, I have read age gaps that I actually don't mind. Like Heartless, the second book in the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I actually didn't mind that age gap because they actually had really good chemistry. And I was like, you know what? I get it. Like, you guys have this undeniable connection. I get it. Let's not care about age. But yeah, this one just felt, I don't know, there were too many moments where I just was a little bit, I just couldn't do it. So yeah, the Twisted series isn't for me. Since then, I have gone on to read other Anne Huang books, but yeah, and I do like them. But yeah, the Twisted series wasn't it for me, sadly.
How long is this one? Is this 4 books, like one for each couple? Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought this one was like 10 books long. I may be confusing it with another series.
Oh, you might be thinking of the is it the Addicted series you're thinking of?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, they're kind of similar-ish covers, similar vibes. But that one's like really long, I think. I'm yet to get into that.
Okay, but this one's 4. This one's being adapted, right?
Yeah. So it's getting, I think it's a TV series, I think.
I think so.
And I think it could be like a fun romance TV series, to be honest. I would probably maybe even enjoy it more as a TV series. It's just, I don't know. There was something about it. You know when just a romance gives you ick vibes? You can't get over it. It's like once you've got the ick, you can't get over it. So annoying. Anyway, your next one?
My next one is kind of a throwback one, but it's Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I actually really like Victoria Aveyard as a person. Like, just from what I've seen on social media, I think she's really cool. I think she is unafraid to speak on things that she feels strongly about. And I just think she's a very intelligent, just very bold, very wonderful person. Like, I do really like her. I read Red Queen, I think a few years ago, and I actually didn't mind the first book. I had fun with it. It wasn't mind-blowing. It wasn't anything like, top of any list, but I had fun reading it. It's a fun little YA dystopian fantasy series. It follows the trajectory of a lot of YA fantasy romance series, but it was written a long time ago. Like, I don't remember the year. But at least like 10 years ago, I think, like a very, very long time ago. And so I enjoyed the first book. I went on to read Glass Sword, the second book, and I just got bored. I don't know what it was about it. It felt very, very second book, like extremely second book. It seemed like an entire setup book, but there were no exciting parts in it for me. Like, I don't mind a sequel if we need to set up for things, but I still need to have some moments in it that I love. And I think I just fell out of love with all of the characters during Glass Sword, and I just ended up by the end of it, completely not invested and not caring as to what would happen to them next. So I just decided to stop reading after that. I actually ended up going on the internet and looking up spoiler summaries for the rest of the books just to be like, okay, well, what happens at the end? And
so you were invested enough to do that, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, I could read a page, a Wikipedia page telling me the ending. And if I'm going to be honest, after reading the spoiler summaries, I was like, you know what, it's probably fine that I skipped it. I feel like a lot of the stuff that happened, I would have just been I don't know. But yeah, this one's a weird one for me because I can't really pinpoint exactly what went wrong with Glass Sword. I just felt bored. And I wish I could give a more useful critique on why, but I just remember feeling bored. That's my only reason. But I do want to give her other series a chance because I know she's currently writing another series that I think is adult. Is it called Realm Breaker?
I think so. I've been seeing a lot of her like social media posts about her writing it, and it does seem really intriguing. And as you said, I think her as a person, she is so cool. So yeah, would definitely love to try. I think getting bored of a series though is like a fair enough reason. Like you don't want to be forcing yourself through a series. And sometimes personally, I feel like it can just depend on my mood. If I'm not in the mood for it and I like force myself to read a whole book or two, it does just like destroy the series, which sucks.
Yeah, like I just felt so unmotivated. And honestly, I feel like if I had the rest of the books in physical already, because sometimes when I start a series, I'll just buy all of them, which is sometimes my biggest mistake. If I had them, I maybe would have continued, but because I was only buying them one by one for this one, I was just like, yeah, I'm probably not going to continue to buy the rest of them. But yeah, I do think she's definitely very talented, and I can see that she's a good writer. I just feel like this one was not it for me. But yeah, I'm definitely open to trying out her other series.
Yeah, I can't remember it. I read The Red Queen, just like the first book, in like, I want to say probably like 6-7 years ago. So I can hardly remember what went on, because I remember just picking it up at the library or something like that. And I think I enjoyed it. But then they didn't have the second book, and so it kind of just drifted out of my mind pretty quickly. But yeah, so I kind of almost feel like I haven't read it because I really can't critique it from that long ago.
Because it's been so long, yeah. Okay, your next one's funny.
Yeah, I feel like we can both agree on this one. And that is the Zodiac Academy. Guys, you all saw this one coming. This was actually probably one of our like biggest topics in our first pilot episode. We talked about the Zodiac Academy, and it is probably one of the biggest series on Book Talk, which I will say I find that really impressive because this was originally an independently published series. Yeah. And I think that is an insane achievement to be that
so
popular.
Impressive. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I do think some people will really enjoy this. I just personally didn't really connect to our characters, didn't love the tropes. If you don't know what the Zodiac Academy is about, we are following two twin sisters. They kind of find out, I guess, that they have magical abilities and get brought to the Zodiac Academy, where are you sorted in? Is it like you're in houses depending on your zodiac sign? Is that it? I can't even remember.
You do like an elemental test. Like you.
Yes, that's right.
You do this test and then you see what you have affinities for, and then that's where they place you.
Yeah. So it's like elemental magic on top of zodiac. Well, I guess like that's kind of interchangeable, like because the zodiac signs are different elements. And then they find out that they have royal blood, and so they have to kind of train up to. Is that a spoiler? Did I just spoil that? We can totally cut that out. I feel like it's in the first few chapters.
I feel like it's probably in the Goodreads summary.
Yeah, maybe we'll check it. And then if it is, we're all good. And if it isn't, we'll just cut it out.
So if there was just a weird cut here in the episode, it's because we cut out a spoiler.
But yeah, the Zodiac Academy, I didn't like the romance lines. Number one, I could not see them. They're just two of my least favorite tropes. We have the bully trope, and it's like a pretty severe bully trope. It's not just like, oh, you don't look good today or whatever. Like it's pretty severe bully. And then we also have a student teacher trope, which, I mean, I just talked about age gap, so I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And then, I don't know, the main protagonists, they were really bugging me. I don't know. You can add to it. There's not a lot that I liked about it.
I want to know, because I think the last time we talked about the series, you were still kind of like, yeah, like I'll still kind of just save them. Maybe if I go on a flight or something or have a long travel day, I'll read them as an easy read. What made you, like, since that moment to now, what made you change your mind?
I read more romantasy books. And I was like, I think there's better options out there for me that I'm actually going to enjoy. Because it's just one of those series that everyone's like, you have to get through the first few books to start really enjoying it. But I think that would apply to you if there were elements that you enjoyed in the series and that you could see yourself continuing with it because of that. Whether it's, I read the first two books and then the half of the third one, and I just never finished it. And oh my God, I was like rage reading it. I was getting so angry at our characters, and I was like, this is not good for my mental health. Reading's meant to be like my wind down time. I should not be doing this to myself.
No, yeah. Oh, you only want to feel frustrated at a book if it's in a good way. Like if you're excited with the characters, like excited about the plot. You don't want to feel frustrated in like that negative kind of a way.
Yeah. So yeah, safe to say, I think I put it on my DNF list just because there's other series I want to continue more than this.
Yeah, fair enough. You made it farther than me, so I think that's quite impressive. My next one is an interesting one because I actually really, really loved the first book in this one, like an actual 5-star read, but I just feel like I don't want to continue. And this is the Cerulean Chronicles. So like, oh my gosh, my mind just blanked. What is the first book called?
Something in the Cerulean Sea.
House in the Cerulean Sea. Yeah. Why did I just forget that? I love this book. By TJ Klune. So this is a cozy fantasy. We follow this grumpy man character. He works at this ministry department that oversees orphanages and stuff like that for magical children. He gets assigned to oversee this particular orphanage on this island, and they run things very like not to the book, and he's a very to the book guy. So his first instinct is like, I need to report these guys. They're so just like wild. But the longer he stays there, he kind of like gets to know the kids, gets to know the like owner of the orphanage, and it's just this really, really nice, cozy story. And it was wonderful. It felt like a warm hug. I gave it a 5-star, but I feel zero inclination to pick up the second one. It's so weird. I think it's one of those things where like it was just such a nice, lovely ending that I just want all of the characters to stay in that moment, and I don't want them to do anything else, if that makes sense. Like I just want to freeze them in time and keep them in that nice, cozy, happy place in my heart. I don't want to read more about them, but I love the characters. That's such a weird feeling.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually today years old when I realized that was a series. I actually thought that was a standalone until just now. So
yeah, I think it was a standalone for a while, and then it became a duology. So there's just one sequel.
Okay.
And I've kind of heard good things about the second one, but also bad things about the second one. That's probably also kind of affecting my decision to like DNF the series because I don't know. I just don't want anything to scar my like memories of the story and the characters. It was just like, it was so good as a standalone, you know? Like,
yeah,
I don't want to continue.
It was really good. I loved that book. It felt like a warm hug. That's the best way you can describe it, I think. And I'm actually really surprised that there's another book in the series because it did feel like a really well-rounded conclusion to the book.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want more.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Now I'm like, do I continue it? I didn't even know.
Maybe you do, and then maybe you let me know, and then maybe you can change my mind.
And I think as well, so often a really good book can be ruined by a duology, like, a sequel or whatever. So yeah, I do understand.
I don't want it to happen. I'm just satisfied. I'm just like, I'm happy enough. I don't need more. It was just like perfect the way it was.
Have you read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children?
Yes. Yeah. I read that one like a long time ago, like when I was a kid.
Yeah. Because like it gave me those vibes. I don't know. I loved it. It was so cute.
But a little bit more adult, I guess.
You're kind of on the adult side, from the adult's perspective, whereas I feel like in Miss Peregrine's, you were almost this like third perspective that was in like the kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe it's because we read it as kids and we were
that too
perspective.
That too.
Okay. What's your next one?
Next one is, I literally just realized that I said, a lot of these fantasies, these books I want to start are fantasies. My DNF's summer romances. The Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. this starts with the deal, and I've only read the deal, so, you know, I can't comment too much, but I think I had this worked up in my mind that this was going to be a new favorite romance series for me, and I'm not really sure why I had it worked up in my mind like that, because it really was just a college romance book that goes on to follow different couples in the college setting. It was fine, and like I actually really liked the couple, but to me it just kind of was like, okay, cute little romance standalone. I don't know if I can commit, because this is a pretty big series. I want to say there's like 5 or 6 books in this series, and this is also getting adapted to TV, which I think there's been some discourse on that for the casting. I think
I've seen a lot of it. Yeah, I have no opinion because I haven't read these books, but I've seen a lot of hit and miss.
Yeah, I think some people really like it and some people don't think it's accurate at all. So I'll be interested to see. And this one I definitely would watch as a TV series. I think it could be a really, like, you know, you said it a college setting. I think it could be a really fun TV series. I literally don't have a reason for not wanting to continue this one. It wasn't for me, I guess. I was a bit bored, I guess, as well.
Yeah, that's so fair. I feel like that it is easier to DNF one of these like interconnected romance ones because you're not like invested. It's not like, oh, there's more plot that I need to continue and find out what happens. Like they're all just so beginning, middle, and end that it's like unless you feel very, very, very strongly about that author's writing or the setting or the secondary characters, it's like it's hard to find motivation to pick up the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was nothing really keeping me there, I guess. So that was a quick little one. I don't have too much for a reason.
So fair. My next one is actually the Powerless trilogy by Lauren Roberts. I think everyone at this point knows that I've decided to DNF this one. I read the first 2 books, so Powerless and Fearless, and I just didn't care. I just didn't care. I think Powerless was okay, although it was very jarring to see the similarities between this and Red Queen. It felt like very much the exact same story, but with a more romantic-y focus on it. Like it was just more bantery. There was like a bigger focus on the romance, but like the plot structure was very, very similar. And I think I gave it another chance with Fearless. That is what the second one is about, is
Reckless, I think.
Reckless, yes. Reckless. I'm losing my mind.
They're all so similar names.
I know, like Fearless, Reckless, I don't know. So Reckless is the second one. And that one I think it would have been good if I felt invested in the characters to begin with, but then when I read it, I was like, this is the plot of Dance of Thieves. And I was very confused at that, and so I just gave up.
Look, I think that is totally fair enough. I think the Powerless trilogy would hit so good if you are brand new to YA fantasy. I think it's a really good like introduction to it. I actually liked the novella Powerful. Is that what it's called? I think the little I actually liked that the best of every book in the series, which is hilarious.
I hear that a lot.
It was hilarious. Like I was like, I want more of this story. I wanted a longer version of this. I didn't like Reckless either. Fearless was okay, weirdly paced, but the plot did feel quite unique. But yeah, I didn't like Reckless either. So yeah, I pushed myself to continue it, and I'm glad it got better. But yeah,
it just didn't make sense. You know what I was getting frustrated at in Reckless was that our 2 characters were supposed to be at odds with each other in this one, but then they would just randomly start kissing. And I know that works for some people, but I'm like, I'm not feeling this. Like I don't get it.
So I feel like I have some insight on this one. When I went to Lauren Roberts' event, one of the questions asked was like what happened to the slow burn, essentially. Like there was such a slow burn in the first book with like the banter and everything. What happened? It was the editors. So they basically read it. They didn't kiss until like the end of the second book. And then they were like, oh, you can't leave fans waiting this long. You should make them kiss earlier. And I was like, no. I feel like when it's a YA series, it works as a slow burn that much. It works that they don't kiss until the end. I think that makes more sense to me. So,
yeah. And anyway. I mean, even if it's not a slow burn, like, it has to at least make sense. Like, why are you feeling these romantic feelings right now in this very not romantic situation? Like, there was no lead up to it. It felt so out of place. So, yeah, like, it did really feel like those moments were just dropped in and, like, didn't make sense. So it's interesting to hear that that's the reason why.
It made so much sense to me. I was like, I actually think I would have loved to read the first draft, to be honest, or like the, you know, the actual draft, not the edited version, the editor's version, I should say.
Yeah, now I'm very curious. That is very interesting. Okay, so I think that those are all the series that we're going to talk about that we have DNF'd, but now we're getting to the fun part. We're going to talk about series that we want to start. So do you want to kick us off with yours?
Sure. I'll do like a mini 2-in-1 because originally I had put Will of the Many, the Hierarchy series by James Islington, on this list, but I can very happily tick that off as started and definitely continuing because, oh my gosh, I can't believe you've waited a year, by the way. Yeah. I'm
from the ending of the first book. Like,
look, I'm not even mad that I waited this long to read it because now I don't have to wait super long to get the second book. Now I have to wait super long to get the third book, but look, it's fine. By then I can do a reread.
Yeah, no, you did it right.
But the actual first series I would love to start is The Vicious Duology by V. Schwab. I love V. Schwab. Like, every book I've read by her is incredible. And I'm kind of going through her backlog now because I never did like the Vicious Duology or anything like that. And after Addie LaRue recently and seeing her writing in a different setting, because I'd only read the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy, so seeing her writing in this, there were definitely elements that were similar and you're like, yep, this is a V. Schwab book. Yeah. But it just felt it was lyrical, it was dynamic, it was just such a different setting as well. So now I'm like, I need to see all of the sides of V. Schwab. Yes. I need to see all of her different types of writing and her different characters and worlds. So I want to start this one very, very soon. I'm going to hopefully pick it up at the bookstore next time I'm there because I'm on my V. Schwab grind. I can't even help it. Like, my mind is just it's like I'm just living in V. Schwab's worlds at the moment. It's just in the world.
I love this for you. I absolutely love this for you. I mean, like, I love V. Schwab's soul, so I'm so happy you're on this journey. Also, I will say with Vicious, it's a good time to start because actually it's not a duology, it's going to be a trilogy, but she's she's finished her first draft of the third book, and so it's going to go through editing and like likely to be released fall of next year. So if you start getting into it now, perfect timing again.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Because I looked it up, I was like, is this a duology? And it said online that it was a duology, but I guess because it isn't published yet. That's so exciting. I cannot wait to get into this. To be honest, literally don't even know what it's about. I would give you guys a synopsis, but I genuinely, I just go into her books completely blind because I just have that much trust in her writing and her characters.
Do you want a little synopsis?
Yeah, you feel free to give like a mini one, just like a little one, not too many.
Yeah, it's essentially two guys. They're academic rivals, and they start doing these experiments for like a research thing that they have to do for class, and it goes wrong, and then they end up with superpowers, essentially.
Oh, fun. Great.
There you go.
I'm down. I'm reading it.
Yeah, no, it's so fun. It's so unique. Like, I don't think I've read anything like the Vicious series. Like, it's just so interesting. I don't know. It's different.
I feel like I see a lot of people either really, really love it or really, really hate it though. So, I mean, I know I'm going to love it because I like her writing. But, you know, I guess for people who aren't massive V. Schwab like fans, I guess, or just aren't familiar with her writing or something, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I do see a lot of people say that they went in with really high expectations and just didn't like it. So shame for them, I guess.
Well, I hope you love it.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Anyway, what is the next series you want to start?
This one's fun. So I want to start The Witcher by Andrzej Sapkowski. I hope I'm saying that right. I actually genuinely don't really know what the canon Witcher story is, like what the books are actually about, but I recently played The Witcher 3, like the video game, and it was so much fun. I fell in love with the world. Like it just felt like such a like an immersive fantasy world with I love all the cities and the environments, and I loved all the creatures and the beasts, and I do love the main characters because we have like the Witcher, like we have Geralt, we have Ciri, Yennefer. Like I learned a little bit of the lore through the video game, but I just want to know what the source material is now because I feel like I love the world so much. I'm like, now I want to see what the actual story is, and I don't know how true to the book story the game is because I like there are kind of a few multiple endings to the games, so
yeah,
I'm curious to see what the story is. I did try to watch the show like back when it was released, like the first season. I couldn't really get into it for some reason. I think I watched like the first 2 episodes maybe, and then I just stopped for whatever reason. But I'm curious, like now after playing the game and really, really loving the game, I want to read the books. And then maybe after I read the books, maybe I'll try and get back into the show. But also from what I've heard about like the progression of the show and kind of like the recent events that, you know, with Henry Cavill leaving the cast because they were like going off script and then recasting and all of this stuff, I feel like maybe I just wouldn't or shouldn't get back into the show, but I want to get into the books.
Yeah, it's like I feel like The Witcher is a very intimidating world to break into because personally I haven't played the game, watched the series, read the TV. Oh my gosh, words. Watched the series or read the books. Light, yay. But I feel like it's a really intimidating world to break into, and I know a lot of people, I remember them saying it's really confusing with like the alternate timelines and everything like that. At least in the TV series. I think I'd actually be, that always intimidated me, but I think I'd be fine with it now from what I've read. Like I feel like I've worked my brain up to not really be intimidated by that kind of stuff anymore. So yeah, I'm curious to see what you think and how it's written and how the world's set up, everything like that.
Yeah, I do think because now I do know a bit more about the world just through the game, maybe that'll give me a bit of a head start because I already have a little bit of background knowledge. But the interesting one about this series too is I think the first book is a novella. Because there's an actual first book, but I think it starts with 1 or 2 novellas that like you actually should read first. That's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen that done before, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. I don't know if they were like written out of order or if this is the publication order. I don't know. I'll have to look more into it, but I'm definitely really curious about the series.
Yeah, no, if you start it, please keep me updated because, I'm super curious about that. I've heard a lot of good things, though.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool world and probably a cool story. But what's your next one?
I feel like this shouldn't be a surprise, but Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. Guys, I promise there's more than just V.E. Schwab on this list.
I'd be fine with it if all of your series were V.E. Schwab series.
I actually as well only recently learned, well, not that recently, like a few months ago, learned that the Fragile Threads of Power was going to be a series. I thought it was just because if you guys don't know, it's connected to the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. And I thought Fragile Threads of Power was just like, I don't know, this standalone that was connected to maybe like a sequel that was connected to the Dark Shade of Magic, and we just see our characters and it was just there for the fans that really liked Dark Shade Magic. And I think that's why I hadn't picked it up, because in my mind it was just like this little bonus material in a way. But now that I've learned that it's a series in itself, that makes me super excited and a lot more like anticipated to pick it up. So I am very excited. Do we know how long this is going to be? Is it going to be a trilogy, a duology?
I'm assuming a trilogy, but I'm not sure. I do know that after Vicious, like she is starting the next Threads of Power book now.
Okay.
So
okay, cool.
I have all the inside scoop on V. Schwab, guys, because I sign up for her newsletter. So every month on like a Saturday morning, she sends out her newsletter, and I just like sit in bed on Saturday mornings reading it. And she talks about all this stuff, like what she's up to, what she's writing, like the movies she's watched, the books she's read. So this is why I feel so connected
cool.
with her. Sign up for her newsletter.
I need to do
it's
that.
Really fun.
Yeah. I'm on Taylor Jenkins Reid newsletter, but I feel like she doesn't have that many updates. She'll often share like books that she's been reading and books that she recommends, but she's a very private author until she is, because she doesn't really write series, I guess. Like V. Schwab can keep you updated on her progression.
Yep.
But Taylor Jenkins Reid is just like, I'm going to drop this masterpiece and then I'm going to go into my little, like, I don't know, my incredible brain and just research for like 3 years on my next novel, and then I'm going to drop it without any warning. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but I am definitely putting that down now that I'm going to sign up for it.
Do it. Yeah, I love how connected V. Schwab stays with her readers. It's so fun.
Yeah. I saw an interview with her. Sorry, totally going off track. I saw an interview with her and I saw that she reads like between 100 to 150 books a year. And to be honest, I was just really surprised because I feel like as an author, you're writing your own book. Surely you don't have time and like the energy to be reading so many other books. Like that's not a small feat. Like that's more than I read. I get to like 100 and I'm pretty happy. That's like it's like a full-time job reading. So that's incredible. And it also shows how that reflects into her writing. I feel like the fact that she's so dynamic and flexible
well
with her
read.
writing. Yeah. All right. What is your next series?
I want to read the 5th season / the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. This one sounds so interesting to me. I honestly, the whole premise of it is a little bit of a mystery to me because I feel like everyone who's recommended this one to me has kind of been like, I don't really know how to describe this one. Like it's just very unique. So from what I know about it, I think we follow maybe 3 POVs, but it starts off with kind of 3 things happening. I think one is like we follow a mother, but her husband murders her son and kidnaps her daughter, I think, and that's her start to the story. And then at the same time, I think like an empire falls or something, and then also a rift opens in the ground at the same, like this all happens in one day, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
So then we go on this story following 3 POVs. Yeah, what a day. And from what I know, the magic is very closely tied with the earth, so it's a very like apocalyptic book, like we're at the end of the world, there's earthquakes and the earth is literally breaking, and the magic people are called stone eaters or stone something. And I don't know, it just sounds so interesting to me and very unique, and I've had so many people recommend the series to me, and it does look very, very good. So I really, really want to pick this one up.
I've definitely heard so much about this one. Every time I see it at the bookstore as well, I'm really intrigued by it. And yeah, I've read the synopsis a few times, and it's still, I feel like it just went over my head, to be honest, when I was reading it because so much was happening.
No, there's a lot in the synopsis. That's why I'm like, like this happens and the ground breaks. Like, I don't know.
And I was like, all of this in one paragraph. But a lot of people have really recommended this one to me as well. So I feel like it's clearly pretty highly praised.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I don't know much more about it, but I want to start it soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. The next series I want to start is Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Rowich. I have just literally, like, you guys can probably see if you're watching the video, I have this entire series because the publisher was really kind and sent them out to me. And it's just kind of been sitting on my shelf because I'm like, I don't want to like commit to a whole series yet. But I do really want to start it, especially because I have every single physical book. From what I understand, it is a fantasy series with romance. So I don't know if you would classify it as romantasy or not, but I love that. Like, I love when the romance isn't quite the main point.
Yep.
Which I'm hoping I'm getting that right. But we're basically following, I think, 3 sisters, and they I genuinely don't know too much, but they get taken to like this kind of castle. And I think there's like this, I don't want to say trials aspect, but like there's these kind of like challenges our main sister has to overcome, I think. I haven't actually seen, maybe I've seen 1 or 2 people talk about this series, but I really haven't seen very many. I think I saw Emmy Reeds talk about it. But yeah, I haven't really seen many. From what the vibe I get, it's kind of giving Cassandra Clare though. So I'm down for that. And it's like a 5-book series. So if I like it, I'm in for a whole ride.
Then you're in. Are they long? Like how long are they?
I think they're about, the first one, and I think probably the first 3 are about 400 pages. And then the last one's pretty thick. I think it's like 600, 700. But, a pretty digestible length. For fantasy, you wouldn't want it much shorter than that, I feel like. So pretty good lengths.
Yeah, no,
and
that's pretty standard.
I feel so bad. It's been on my TBR for such a long time now. And I feel so bad because I'm just like, hang on, just once I finish this series, I'll start this series. And it just doesn't happen. So I really need to pick that up soon. Maybe that should be like one of my aims by the end of the year, to at least read the first book. So then I say I've started it and I have no choice but to continue it.
You're 10 before the end.
I don't know why I'm setting myself these goals. But anyway.
You've committed now. Not really, but
yeah,
we've
I've
all
got it
heard
on record at least. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Another one I'm excited to start is the Jasad Heir / the Scorched Throne. This is a duology, I'm pretty sure, by Sarah Hashem. This one sounds so good. I don't know. It's another one I don't really know too much about, but I know it's sort of Egyptian inspired. I think we have an exiled, hidden, lost princess, kind of a main character that's like, she's kind of hiding her powers, and then her power gets exposed to the heir of like the current ruler who like overthrew her family and kingdom. And I don't know, it just sounds like
you're on
good
track.
Vibes.
It is literally, I haven't read the second book yet. I need to because it only came out recently, but it is so good. I have been like, this series for such a long time, well, the first book, I've been like, more people need to be reading this because it is such a good fantasy romance. I love the Egyptian elements. It's not, I thought it was going to be more inspiring the magic system, but it actually inspires a lot of like the political system. It very much inspires like the whole hierarchy and like the royalty and everything like that in this world, which I really liked that element. I mean, I feel like you and I both love when mythologies inspire fantasies.
We love it.
Yeah. I'm so excited for you to read that one. I think you'll really like it.
I feel like I will too.
It's like actually a slow burn as well. Like it's actually a slow burn, which is so hard to come by.
Yeah, I've heard like yearning is good in this one.
Yeah.
Great.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's definitely like the romance is quite a big part of the plot, but in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. We love a good romance if it's good.
We love a good romance if it's good.
Yeah. quotes of Jamie 2025. Best quotes.
We need to just do like a compilation.
We love a romance if it's good. Okay, I'm so excited for your next one on your list though. Tell us more.
Yes. The Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee. This starts with Jade City. I believe it is a trilogy. Yeah.
Yes.
And we've talked about this one a little bit in the podcast, so I won't go like too much into the plot, but I know it because of you. Like it's been on my radar for a long time, but I never actually knew what it was about. I didn't realize that we had, because it's like modern-y, but like corrupt. I can't think of the word right now. My brain is so turned off. I'm trying to think of like, not the mafia, but like what?
Yeah, it's like crime syndicates, clans, like rival clans in an urban city environment.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, like a crime scheme, and I was just thinking mafia, and I was like, no, it's not quite that. But I mean, I've only heard good things about this series, to be honest. I haven't heard one person say it's bad, and everyone that loves like the kind of, actually a series to add to your list is City of Brass. Or the Direbound. But I know a lot of people who absolutely love that trilogy always are straight to recommend this trilogy, which is really interesting. Not that they're like similar in the sense of like actual plot, but I think they have that like old book talk or old booktube feel about them, if you know what I mean. I can't even describe it, but it's like a feeling when fantasy books, I don't know, they had this substance to them.
Yeah, when there was substance to them. Yeah.
I can't think of the word because like there's so many modern day ones that are like that good, but there's just a certain vibe where there's the right amount of plot, the right amount of politics, that it's still really high stakes, there's a little bit of romance, like it's just the perfect balance.
It's definitely a good one because it doesn't follow, it's probably like it doesn't feel like a what am I trying to say? It doesn't feel like a typical book that is written today, like in this year or these few years, because I guess it was written a while ago, but it's so unique. Like you will not be able to predict anything that happens. And I feel like when I read books, I tend to predict things very easily. Like I think anyone who's read a lot of books, it's like, oh, you could see this coming from a mile away. This one just kept continuing to catch me off guard. And like it just kept me so on my toes because I'm like, I literally have no idea what's going to happen next. And there are so many pieces too because it's all like crime syndicate-y. So there's a lot of politics and you're always like, there's a lot of negotiations with several different parties that are involved and have stakes in what's happening. And then so you're trying to like keep track of all these pieces that are moving. And then one piece will just be like, nope, never mind. And that's what happens and causes the big twist. I'm
so excited.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
I love like an unpredictable plot is, it's so good. And as you said, it's kind of hard to find, like, especially when you know, it is just because like we read so many of the same kind of books that after a while it does start to become pretty predictable. So when you find something that really just keeps you on the edge of your seat, it's such a good feeling. So I'm so excited.
I love it so much. Oh, I'm excited for you to start this one. Funny that you were talking about Jade City, though, because the next one that I want to start, I feel like will have similar vibes. So it's called Red City. This is by Marie Lu. The first book just came out, so I think it's going to be the start of a trilogy, I'm pretty sure. But it has similar vibes in the sense that we're following two rival crime syndicates, and they're like... They control this alchemical substance called sand. So in Jade City, they're kind of controlling jade. And in Red City, they're controlling sand, which will basically enhance everything in you. So it'll make you prettier, it'll make you stronger, it'll make you smarter.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so fun. But then we add on this kind of a star-crossed Romeo and Juliet twist, I'm pretty sure, because our two main characters are childhood friends who then I guess lost touch and then like started like climbing up the ranks in the two opposing clans, and then now they're like they both have stakes in the game and now they have to face each other in various political ways. So yeah, we throw in this like star-crossed lovers maybe kind of a situation with like this crime syndicate, clan, sand, alchemical background world. And it sounds so good. I'm so excited to read this one.
So much fun. Yeah. I actually haven't even heard of it. That sounds so good.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Book of the Month. Another shout out to Book of the Month for introducing me to this one. It sounds so good. It is on my November TBR, so I'm going to be reading it soon. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
We love Book of the Month. We need Book of the Month more further across the world because I need it.
Yeah, we need Book of the Month over to you in Australia.
Yeah, just like I'll send them an essay trying to convince them.
Do it.
Because that actually sounds so cool, and I feel like you found so many good books through that. So, so cool. Okay, the last series I want to start, kind of saved best for last, I guess, and that is The Poppy War by R.F. Huang. We all know this, so I'll keep it short and sweet. But I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job through Jamie's like personalized TBR for me. I've done Addie, I've done Will of the Many, like we're getting there. So I think the next... I'm not saying when. I'll text you when it happens. But next on my list is The Poppy War by R.F. Huang. Actually, my friend beat me to this, and that's making me like the competitive side of me. Ooh. I'm like, ooh, I've got to read it now. I've got to read it. Yes, so yeah, hopefully that'll happen soon. Yeah, we've talked about this series so much, but R.F. Huang's a genius. It's a trilogy. We're set in war times. It's kind of it's based off. It's kind of words. It's like it's his what is it? Creative freedom has. My brain really just like went not today.
Just left.
And you know what? I've actually lost my train of thought, but I think I was saying something about the sense that we are in wartime and it's a very like dark world. We have morally grey characters, but yeah, I feel like we've said all this before in a lot if you've listened to like any of our episodes. So yeah, that's my last series on my list.
I'm so excited for you. I also love that out of the 5 series that you've talked about that you want to start, I've recommended 4 of them to you. I feel like a winner.
Yeah, you guys, I know when you're the real ones because on my TikToks recently, when I've been like posting about my current reads and stuff, they're just like, Jamie's winning right now. And like, Jamie's doing so good. And I'm like, you guys are the real ones. Like, I know where you've got this from.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Powerful.
Jamie just sets my TBR now.
This is great. I like this. Okay, well, the last one that I want to start is another book that I just recently got. So it's called This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Alona Andrews. I had no idea what this was about, but the publisher sent it to me and it sounds so interesting. So the author, first of all, is a husband-wife duo, which is fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and the story of it is our protagonist has been obsessing over this dark fantasy series that is not complete, and everyone's been waiting like years and years and years for it to be completed, but like the last book is just not being published. It's not coming out. So we have an unresolved ending, but she wakes up one day to find herself in the world of this unfinished series that she's been obsessing over. So then she starts like seeing the characters that she like knows and loves from the series. She like walks around. She's like, oh my God, this is this fantastical world that I love. And then so she like on one hand is like, should I like try and like go home? Or should I like try and fix what's happening for everyone and like just continue on with the story? So it sounds so good. It sounds like so much fun.
That is such a cool premise.
Yeah.
That's honestly like unlike anything I've heard before. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, it sounds like so much fun. It sounds like something that's written for a fantasy lover. Yeah.
Wow, the publisher mail and book of the month mail is really coming through for you right now. That's so cool.
I know, yeah. I'm just getting recs from everywhere. I think this one, so it is an arc. I think it comes out March 2026. Okay. But I will hopefully read it soon and I will let you guys all know how this one is because it sounds so fun.
It's so cool when it's a husband-wife duo writing it. I love like a co-authored book actually.
Yeah, no, it's so cute. And I think they've co-authored like a whole other series before, so it's not even like something new. I think they've been quite successful in the past. I haven't read any of their other books, but I think they do have quite like a fan base for their other series too.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. A lot to keep us updated on. Like, you know, what books I'm putting on my Jamie TBR next. I need to get more for you. I've got like the Raven Scholar and I'm like, damn, okay, got more.
Well, I will be reading Silver Cloak. I don't know when, but I have it.
Yeah.
I did buy it.
We've got a few.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Yeah. I'll keep going.
Well, yeah, I think those are all of the series not all the series that we've DNF'd, but some of the series that we've DNF'd and some of the series that we want to start. So that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
If you guys have series that you've DNF'd or series you want to start, let us know in the comments. But for now, thank you everyone for listening wherever you are in the world or whatever time zone you're in.
Until next time, stay comfy and keep reading.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on socials for more bookish content.
Bye. See you next time.